But anyways, today's video I'm going to be introducing another one of my pets. This is my second reptile that I have and my last reptile, at least for now, in the next couple of years. But anywho, let's get to it. Alright, so this right here is my gargoyle gecko named Ginger. She is about 2 or 3 years old, and she also, like my bearded dragon, is a rescue. But the only difference is at the time I knew I was rescuing her. So her previous owner was a young boy who I've known for a big portion of my life, so we're pretty close. He ended up getting her a while back and just kind of got bored with her, and I never really saw her until you know, one day he started talking to me a lot and was asking me if I would take her, and I was just kind of like, no, because I'm in college and I really can't have a pet in my dorm, and you know, things like that. And so, you know, he kept asking me and I felt really bad for her, so I told him that I would try to, you know, find somebody else who would be wanting her. So I did reach out to many people that I could think of that might be interested in having a reptile, but I don't really know that many people who like reptiles besides me, so that ended up not really working out. And it kind of got down to the point where they were just gonna let her go outside, and I'm in Missouri and weather here is not stable. One day it's like 70 degrees and the next day it's 40 degrees. So I was like, there's no way she would be able to survive. And then that was when I was like, okay, I found reptile breeders from an expo that I go to that were willing to take her. And I was like, all right, I'll pick her up the week before and I'll bring her to this expo and give her to them. So I ended up picking her up and keeping her for that week. And when I got her, her enclosure was everything about how she was being cared for was pretty horrible. So she was in a 12 by 12 by 18 Exoterra, which is not a bad size. She had one branch and I think one suction cup plant, so it was pretty open. She had pretty much nowhere to hide or to climb. She lost the stickiness in her feet, so she couldn't even climb up the glass, so pretty much all she had to climb on was that log. He had paper towel substrate, which is fine, and her food dish was on the ground, which was in a water bottle cap, which is okay. But then her water dish was in like a little rock, like reptile bowl, but it was kind of big for her and it was more of like a food dish. So I don't know, it wasn't good. And he also had a little spray bottle, but he wasn't dechlorinating the water with ReptiSafe, so she was getting sprayed with tap water for the first 2 or 3 years of her life. He also fed her one flavor of Repashy, and that's all she ever had, and he never fed her insects. So therefore she wasn't getting any calcium for the first couple years of her life. Luckily when I got her, she didn't have any signs of metabolic bone disease. She was extremely skinny. Sorry, I've been like forgetting to show her. She was extremely skinny, but was, you know, wasn't like sickly ill where she was like on the verge of dying, but you know, she definitely was not healthy. So when I got her, I kept her in the same enclosure, but I completely upgraded it. I got a whole bunch of fake plants and flowers and more suction cup plants to stick, and then I even got her a cork background, so she had the log to climb up and that cork background, and then all of the plants she could crawl in and out of. got her a food and water ledge, like a magnetic one, just because it was more of an appropriate size for her and she could get to it better versus than just going on the ground. But over time, she definitely has plumped up quite a bit. She's got a really round little belly now. She was super skinny, like her ribs were sticking out, but now it's just crazy seeing how big she's gotten. And she's a really healthy weight. She's, you know, since I've had her, she's been super active. Also, the person who had her before me never, not once, ever handled her. And his excuse was, she's so jumpy and I don't like holding her. I was like, boy, that's the kind of animal she is. Like, they like to jump. You're supposed to encourage their jumping. But yeah, so I think he was just maybe scared to hold her or something. I don't know, but since I've had her, she's been super easy. But yeah, this is Ginger. She's not all the way fired up, but I'd say she's about halfway. She has really beautiful colors, and when she's like super fired up, she's like super, super red. So yeah, now I'm going to take you to show you her latest upgraded enclosure. So this right here is my gargoyle gecko Ginger. This is her tank. It is an 18 by 18 by 24. She originally had a 12 by 12 by 18, but over last winter I decided to upgrade her to a much bigger enclosure just because I felt like she needed the room. Since upgrading her enclosure, I made it bioactive and live plants, so it's not the prettiest. When I first did it, it was super full and pretty, but those died. Too hot. But anywho, this is this. That's her enclosure. Here we go. Go baby. So that's all about my gargoyle gecko Ginger, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and possibly subscribe. That is all for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So see you next time.